Hello, everybody. One more time. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You guys got me? Baba Booies. A lot of chop going on. Nobody's missing out on anything right now. But if you're here with skill set and you understand how to trade right out of the gate, this market has been very active right out of the gate. And most of the time it's been a contrary move. So if we're just chilling and languishing and doing nothing pre-market, we've had these explosions up. And those explosions to the upside have been met with an equal and, if not greater, move to the downside, which then starts a mini downtrend. And then just when you're comfortable being short, the market catches a bid and rips up. Otherwise known as sideways action or chop. But that's the market that I trade the best because I don't really intend to hold stocks the whole day. So if I get paid like a Carvana, which I'm begging you people, who you calling you people? I'm begging you people. Trade the stock. You don't got to go nuts. Start experimenting, if you will. Let's say you're afraid to trade a $52 stock out of the open. Trade 3 shares. And why do I say 3 shares? 3 shares at least gives you maneuverability. You like that? Big word. Maneuverability. Because somebody said, how do I piece out of a position if I have got one contract or, 100 shares? With 100 shares, you still could split it up. But I get the idea with the one contract. Because my way of trading, like for instance, I just had IonQ short. Now, I know you YouTubers out there can't see my screen, but you guys can see my screen. You got to pay the big bucks to see the screen. But we're trying to figure it out. Sooner or later, I'm going to be able to beam everything to the internet. And, I'll have just a buddy of mine, you know who I'm talking about, has a 80-inch monitor split up into all the charts. I might want to do that. That's freaking cool. But because right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monitors. Imagine just one monster just screen. Oh, that'd be fun. But so coming out of the gate, we had this move on Carvana. And even if you're afraid to trade, get over your fear by taking size that you're not even afraid of. And I'm talking like 3 shares. It used to be that you put 3 shares, you traded 3 shares, they charge you $10 for it. Now there's no commissions. So that used to be a part of the reason people would do paper trading over just playing with small shares. Now you can play with small shares because there's no commission on these trades. You could do in and out just to get a feel. 3 is probably a little bit too little, but just to get a feel for what it's like. You know what also feels good? Winning. If you can make money even on 3 share, 12 share, 20 share increments, then change that to 100 shares and trade exactly like you were doing. And then you take that and you go to 300 shares and trade it exactly how you were doing it with 3 shares. Get the skill set, get the procedure down, and then you just take your size up a little bit. And remember not to freak out about it. Because if you go from watching your P&L moving in $3 increments and $8 increments, and next thing you know, you're moving in $80 increments, don't freak out. Once you start freaking out, then you're not going to trade right. Remember, the trade's going to do what it does, regardless of how many shares you have. We're not trading stocks that you can move. If I buy 3,000 shares of a stock that doesn't really move too much, we could legitimately move the stock. The market makers will run. And we used to do that when we were traders back in the day. When SOS was first built, the system that we sort of trade on right now, it's reminiscent of what we traded on, but they built the system called small order execution system. That was when we first had the ability to use market makers and level 2s, and they gave us the accessibility to the professional tools. Those tools were glitchy at first, and there was a lot of ways to exploit the system. But what was my point? Point is the trade, no matter how many shares you're taking. So, if you're buying 3,000 shares of Carvana, chances are you're not really going to move the market. We don't really trade small cap stocks. I don't trade small cap stocks. Here, for instance, like ARDX. I don't know if you guys watch this stock. It's been a pretty good $4 stock to trade. They got some drug for, I think, stomach issues. I've been watching it for about a year and a half now. Not even this one. Stock has 340,000 shares. You got all these market makers showing their size. This, if you don't know what you're looking at when you look at a market maker box, these are the market makers. They're not. It's not the old school way of looking at stuff. It used to be Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch. You would see the companies who were actually making the market. Now they're hiding behind the ECNs, ARCA, NASDAQ, EDGX, and all that stuff. They're sending their orders in the dark pools also and all that stuff. But my point is, when you got a stock that's not trading a lot of volume, and we all start buying thousands and thousands of shares, we're actually going to move the stock a little bit because the market makers are only obligated to sell you 1,000 shares or 2,100 at that price. So they move. Carvana, chances are you're not moving the stock. That's why when we trade stocks, you're not really moving them. So then my point is, the size of your trades, it doesn't really matter to anyone else except you, because you're not moving these names, right? You're not moving the Qs, no matter how many shares you think you're going to buy, right? You're not moving the Qs. So once you get the motion of the ocean down, then it's about the price of the stock, because the price of the stock influences actually how much you can buy. An $18 stock, usually I'm doing 1,000 shares, not a question. Anything under 30, I'm usually doing 1,000 shares. Over $30, usually I'll do a 600 lot. If I'm trading the Qs, it's usually 300 share lots. And then also the volatility of the name. So again, when I talk about not knowing the stock or the company, I don't know what these companies do and what they make or how much money they do make or not make. I know how the stocks trade. But more importantly, ARM coming out in 3, 2, 1. So let's all watch the IPO. Everyone's excited. You got the ARM IPO coming out in about a minute. And that's where I want to focus my attention on right now. And I think everyone else is going to focus their attention on this one also. So the market might kind of just meander around, but we've already had the dip. We've already had the rip, and now we're getting the roll. The market is basically doing the same thing that it's been doing for the last 30 days. And until that changes, you got to trade the environment. The environment right now is my environment. This is why I love this market right now. I love this market. I really do. Because now I'm being rewarded for trading my style. I sell into moves, I play stops, I get stopped out, and then I look to go the other way sometimes. I don't always do the 180 trade, sell out of the stock and then go short. You better be really confident in what you're doing. But I love the fact that I could sell and not be miserable for the rest of the day, watching the stock that I just sold keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And then the next day it keeps on going, and then you feel foolish. This is my kind of market. I could trade the same stock for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks later, it's basically the same price because all it's doing is going up a couple of days, down a couple of days, sideways a day. And the sideways action is fantastic. And I love it. It's great. Kenny, when's this IPO coming out? So let's talk about IPOs and the worthlessness of IPOs. Remember, companies come public after their peak. They've already done fantastic things. They've already had their growth spurt. They usually are on the other side of the mountain already. And then they say to themselves, hey, let's go public to cash out and get rich on other people's dime. Do the research. Do the research. Most IPOs suck. Look at the last 40 popular IPOs over the last 3 or 4 years. None of them are really doing well. Airbnb's hanging in there. I think that was one of them. But most stocks, first of all, most stocks stink. IPOs are the worst. They're not doing you a favor by going public with an undervalued asset. They're trying to sucker you in at the highest price imaginable so everybody can get paid. The investment bankers, the brokers, blah, 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 blah. So sometimes the IPO is so damn hyped up that no matter what happens, people buy it at the open and it rips. I ain't buying ARM at the open. And if it rips up 10 points without me, so be it. It's just another trade. I don't care. I'm not jumping in at the open on an IPO in a market that is, again, if this was raging bull market time, if it was raging bull market time, like the beginning of May, and this thing came out, I would probably buy it at the open because we were in that from like basically May 5th till July 20th. The market was just going up, and there was nothing anybody could do about it. It was that moment. That moment's over. So now go back to being conservative, go back to being rational, and just sit here and wait. We already got paid, right? Right? We had U. I don't know if you guys were watching the U. This is my favorite type of trade. Again, stocks trending down, trending down, trending down. Bang. Breaks the V-WAP, breaks a whole number. I'm in. Next thing you know, the stock's going green. We were hoping for a lot more on it. It rolls over. You sell what you got left. And then I had IonQ short. IonQ, this was the short that I had. Breaks the VWAP. This one I shorted it at 1875 as it broke the VWAP and then broke this 930 area. I shorted it right there using the VWAP as my stop, top of the candle as my second stop. It rolls over, you get paid. And that's all I've done so far. So 2 for 2. And again, I treat this as a job. The boss has already walked into my office, as if I had an office, and said, "Good job today, Kenny. You could go home early." Remember, it's a job. So now the boss has already told us we're good. We're done for the day. Now we could just do what we want. So what I want to do is I want to watch this ARM IPO, and I want to watch the CART IPO. I think that's today also, CART. Which that company, if you did a little due dilly, I don't know if it's today or tomorrow. If somebody could help me out on that one, I'm not sure. But what was I talking about? I just read something and now I get distracted. I'm easily distracted. I'm like a freaking dog. What? Squirrel. Yeah. Let me go check on my dog before this IPO comes live. The high pitched bark is usually I've got to do something, help me. So I had to make sure he wasn't doing anything. Anyway, but look, so this IonQ, let's talk about it for a second. I'll get to the SC chart. Yeah. Let me see something. Oh, I've never done this before, but if the market makers are being stingy on BB and the money would, in theory, exercise the option. If it says that. Whatever price you paid, once you exercise, let's just add that on to the strike price. So if you're exercising 550s and you paid 20 cents, your cost value is 570. Anyway, this IonQ, right? So this is how I find trades. By the way, if you don't have my list of stocks, please take my list of stocks. We trade these stocks every day. They're very active. They all have options. They're very liquid, and they move. IonQ is one of my favorite stocks to trade. It's a cheap stock. It has options. It follows through. It obeys VWAP. And that's the type of stock that I like to trade. So here's my list of stocks if you haven't got it yet. Affirm, obviously everybody's new favorite since I started doing the broadcast with you guys. We've been getting paid on Affirm almost every day. HE, kind of died a little bit, but I watch it. Rig, you understand, I'm buying every dip. I trade the stock. This is more of an accumulation to me. Beyond Meat on the way to zero, but you'll get the short squeezes. IEP, most of these stocks have been beaten up, and I'm waiting for bigger moves to the upside. Some have already had the move. CDLX, phenomenal. Still think this thing's got 20 more points to go. Carvana, obviously, IonQ, Rivian, dipping, buying on dips, always still have a little. I have naked puts on this one, so I'm long. Palantir, very liquid options, good for Thursdays and Fridays. AAOI, very active. Wolf, Mob is a stock I own, just a piece of crap. Path had a good earnings report, still can't get out of that bottoming pattern. Right at Wolf, right at Path, that's the most. These are my most active traders. And then if something becomes my new stock to trade, I just keep it on the main watch list. And then it's basically biotechs, earnings, stocks in the news, and the list, biotechs, stocks in the news. There's always crazy biotechs every morning. There's always a few stocks that are in the news and earnings reports, and then the main list. And that's basically it. And then I'm still in Carvana long, but I have a long shot call. I bought, and I still like it. If anybody's interested, I'm running out of time now. I still think it's not a bad price. I have a Lotto $85 call for January, which is not really a Lotto anymore. I bought them at $3 and $4. I think they're still $4. I bought January 85s for January 85s for $4. Where are they now? They're still $4. I like it because I think the stock's going on. I think the stock's going to 120, but it's a long shot. But I like the idea that they're still $4, and you could still sell. I was thinking about selling the 150s because I don't think it's going to go to 150. I actually think the stock could go to $97. So if I could sell some premium above there, so I haven't done it yet because I've been waiting to get in the money. If these go to $6 and I could sell the 110s for, let's say, $3 or maybe $4, I legitimately think the stock could get to 120. So I don't want to sell anything below 120. You could get $1 for the 140s. So I'm thinking about selling the 140s against my 85s. 85, 140 call spread for $3. So you're risking $3 with the idea that you're looking to make $60. So, that's what it is. You're risking $3 with the idea that this could be, again, it's already done things that people never thought. Why can't it tack on another 20, 30 points? I love it. Plus, we've been paid on the stock so much that this Lotto play it's been paid for 1,000 times over. I love me some Carvana. You know what else I like about it also is that it's become a little bit more predictable. Up here above 53, 54, it tends to have a 5 or 6 point sell off. If you have 3 up days, you generally have that 4th down day. Stocks just trades well. And then if you becomes that familiar with something, you just stick with it. All right, the ARM IPO, it's priced at $2,147 right now on my level 2. It's a pretty good premium. What did I add to the? I added something to the list lately. I forgot what it was because I forgot to add it. Something looked very interesting. Now I can't remember. Oh yeah. We already kind of missed the move, but Alcoa. I noticed this thing waking up the other day. Again, SmackDown, just looking for them to make their turns. You know what? I still like it. I saw this thing turning yesterday. You got the gap today. Usually you get 3 days coming out of the bottom pattern. So it hit the double bottom, boom, boom. Now you got the first up day, the second up day. Make sure you're watching Alcoa tomorrow, right? Look for $30 calls. Could be a lotto play for tomorrow. So I got that one on the radar. I haven't traded Alcoa in a long time. I was looking at Halliburton again, but that one's obviously in an uptrend. Halliburton, the rig. So market's doing exactly what it did every other day, right? Rallies out of the gate, they sell it off, they trap the shorts, and then we rally again. I mean, it really is the same day over and over and over again lately. More so than usual. I know it's the same day all the time for us because we take that same trade, but now it's the same exact day. SE short, I don't like that stock short anymore. That's on my list somewhere. Where is that one? I put that on the list a couple of weeks ago. I don't know much about it. I just know that that's the kind of chart I'm usually a buyer on. I had, still right where I needed to be. I like the stock long, actually. Again, this is one that has been absolutely destroyed. I'm just waiting for the turn. And, you got one turn and it was phenomenal. You get another turn, you're talking about, possible move to $47. So that's on my long list. I don't know much about it, but obviously they've got some issues. That's a nasty looking chart. But most stocks that I like look exactly like this, because once they consolidate at low levels, that's how I found CDLX, which, if you guys are rocking CDLX, you see how it came out of the bottom pattern. It took about a year, but now that it's in the uptrend, it goes back to where prior peaks are. We were in this stock, again, from 350. Not in it anymore, but sold it at 750, 10. And then I sold some the day they reported earnings, and I haven't been able to buy it back because it doesn't want to pull back. So it's just tacked on another 7 points since they reported earnings. And now we're at, you're almost at, now you're at the 1-year high. You get through there, you're looking at $21.25. And then if you get through that spot, look at this chart. This is a 3-year chart where I've been picking all these monsters off. This is a $38 stock. I got to start believing. But again, hard to want to keep pushing the issue on a stock that we started buying at $385 that's sitting here at $19. But remember Carvana. This is not going to be a Carvana because of the math. The difference between Carvana was a $400 stock that fell to $5. So just based on math, my calculations got it to go to, $58. This one's saying around $38. I'll take 38. But a lot of the hard work, again, this was $3. It's at 18. A lot of the easy money has been made. Yeah, Randus. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to ruin it for everybody. I did buy 100 shares for my kids yesterday. I'm not selling it. I committed to the trade. I'm giving myself a 14-point risk. I bought 100 shares for each of my kids at 58. These bottom ranges are my outs. And again, if you're going to swing trade something, you're not putting quarter stops on it. I'm giving myself 14-point risk on this trade. 14 points. Right? Because I think, and what I hope, is that this stock in the next 2 or 3 years See how the bottom pattern, that's where we started buying it down there, came out of the bottom pattern. I think we're just going to be in another long, extended consolidation. And if we break above the consolidation, I don't see any way the stock doesn't go to 120. And if you're at 120, you're only 7 cents away from all-time highs. You get 127 on Rambus, you're going to 250. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we'll see in 4 years. There's no way to, we'll see in 4 years. But I didn't buy the calls. I didn't do nothing. I just bought 200 shares yesterday for the kids. We'll see what happens. Because I was looking at the chart again. I was like, you know what? I got to own this thing. I got to own it. I'm risking 14 points to possibly make 200 points in the next couple of years. 14 points, 200 shares, $2,800 risk to maybe make, 30 grand. But a lot of the, again, the Kardashian bottom, the original one was down here, but then we broke that. That was very significant. And now you're in the area where the stock hadn't been for 23 years. That's a major turnaround. That's why I think if this stock gets some juice going, the last two earnings reports kind of held it down. One explosion through all that resistance, you could be looking at a 15-point day, just like with Carvana. I think it's going to have a 20-point day one of these days. And just anybody who's still short is going to give up. And when they give up, hopefully they all give up in one collective day. Hopefully it's on a Friday. And hopefully I don't sell all of my goddamn Lotto plays too early. I just sense this stock's going to have like a 15-point breakout. And like I said, if it happens on a Friday and you're sitting there with some Lotto plays, Carvana breaks $58 on a Friday. You're sitting there with a $70 call, the what if call for 2 cents. Stock rips to 70. Those options are going to be worth $2, $3, and you pay a couple of pennies for them. I'm looking forward to that Carvana day. By the way, this market's all about hooking people on the wrong side right now. It really is. You're getting the shorts got hooked, then the longs got hooked, and now we're right smack dab in the middle. And it's a nice day not to be doing much, right? We're just chopping around. So now that we've chopped up and chopped down, speaking of the devil, there's Beyond Meat. Let me show you Beyond Meat. Again, I'm not a fan of these companies. I still think this one is going to zero. But down at these levels, the shorts are a little bit more nervous. And so if the shorts are nervous, any strength causes them to cover. That's when V-WAP works its best. V-WAP break, new highs on the Carvana. This is Beyond Meat. And again, a lot of these stocks have options that expire on Fridays. They have weeklies. They have half number, whole number increments. So it's a stock like this where, it's breaking 1045 late in the day on a Friday, and you're buying a 1050 call for 3 cents. The stock pops 20 cents. Your option's worth 20 cents that you paid 3 cents for. That's how you find the Lotto plays. It's not some stock that's exploding to the upside. It's the right place at the right time at the right price. So half number, whole number increment options on a Friday, that's where you get your 2 centers, 3 centers. And if you're buying, again, if I haven't explained myself well enough, if you're just buying, let's say, Carvana, the stock's at 1045 on a Friday. The 1050 call is going to be pennies because you're talking about expiration at the end of the day. Stock doesn't move that much. So if you're buying 1050s at 2 or 3, and the stock just pops 15 or 20 cents, now your 1050s worth 20. You got yourself 100 contracts at 3 cents. Your 300 is now worth 2,500. It's pretty good. I find those all the time. Just got to wait. And look how the market, again, suckered you to believe that we were going down, right? We got the 1 minute, we broke the multi-day, and just like yesterday, found strength at the multi-day. Rolls over, breaks another new low, yet still finds strength, this market is going to chop you up if you're not nimble. Because as soon as a stock breaks a double bottom and then pivots right back and starts to rally, that's what we call the fake out, shake out, breakout. It's very hard to trade. Most of the time, we're on the wrong side of it because it feels right to short. Hey, we're rolling over. Let's go short. Next thing you know, you got to admit you're wrong, but at least admit you're wrong down here when it pivots, and then you could join the winning team as it breaks out. And remember, if you're stubborn, don't be stubborn about covering your short. Once it breaks back over the VWAP, that usually means we're going to go even more that direction. So again, the short worked, even the long worked here, just a bunch of chop. But if you're navigating it correctly with the VWAP and price, first of all, you better not be short the Qs right now, right? It was a good trade. And now it's set up for the longs to take advantage. So now the longs are saying, all right, where are we going? We're probably going to go retest those highs. You break those highs, you look for them to retest the highs from the open. And if it breaks there, then the trend is up and the prices where it broke out of become your stops on the way down. So do the work, draw the roadmap. Blue line is the 1 minute, orange line's prior day. You draw the lines, now you have your roadmap, and then the work's already done. Now the work's done, you could just trade the price. So now the Qs are along, right? You know the targets to the upside. You know where the shorts, the longs are now going to cover where the shorts, the longs are going to get out of their position where the shorts got stopped out of theirs before. So those are significant areas. And right now we're just in limbo. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. This looks like an engulfing candle that's forming right here. You engulf these prior two candles, chances are you're going to break out to the top of that range. You know, right now the easy answer is we're going up. And look at that SoFi trade. It's exactly the same trade as the entire market, right? So right now, you'd rather be long than short. And the longs are looking at 890. Yeah, it's too tight of a stop. That's 3 cents away. So they're looking at 890. And they're looking at 886 as their outs. You just faux showed. And this could be the bro part. I'd rather be long than short on SoFi right now. By the way, CDLX at 19 now, kids. We haven't seen 19 in 2 years on CDLX. If anybody's still following or in my name here, I believe this is the, yes. We are at 1 year and 1 month highs now on CDLX. And the guy on the internet called me an idiot because I don't know about the company. And I was like, guy, you calling me an idiot and telling me I don't know the company makes me more secure in this trade than I've ever felt, because I don't give a shit what you think you know about this company. Go on the message boards on CDLX. Nobody likes the stock. Yes, that's what you want. So at $38, when CNBC starts upgrading it, you know it's over. But you don't want people on your stock. You want the skepticism. You want the negativity. That means they're still shorting it. And that means they're just hating on it. That usually the haters are short, or they just got burned on the stock and they're rooting for it to go to zero and they're just not seeing it clearly. There was nothing about this stock for the last year that said anything about wanting to sell it. It's just that there's just a bunch of angry people that it must have been in it from 160 who got crushed. But that ain't our problem. We came in, I never heard of the stock up until around here. So this has been one of my favorite stocks of all time. You know, nailed it. Looks like it's still got more to go. You know, when's this IPO coming out? Sitting here twiddling my thumbs, literally. Beep, 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 beep. that we'd have some action right now. By the way, speaking of awful action and CGC and all that stuff, those awful, awful weed stocks that woke up a couple of weeks ago, if they stay relatively strong today, and if the follow through happens tomorrow, you've got a lot of them right around strike prices. Tilray 3s, CGC 150s, you got MJ 450s. A lot of lotto plays out there on these garbage weed stocks if they follow through tomorrow. So keep an eye on all that stuff for tomorrow. And suddenly the market's going to be at the highs of the day. I mean, it really is the same day. It's really the same day a couple of days ago, right? Hook the longs, hook the shorts. You better be nimble. And by the way, look, I'm sitting here and I should have done this trade. Here's the U. So here's one of the trades I did earlier, right? And this is what I like about the way I trade. I didn't catch it here, by the way. I caught it when it was going green. Blue line breaks, goes green. I played the reversal, and then it rolls over, and this is what we call a V-WAP shuffle. Think of it as Popeye having another, can of spinach right here. It's refreshing its trade. It's refreshing. It's not breaking down. It's just re-energizing here at the V-WAP. It forms a new range, back above the V-WAP, back above the top of the range, bang. Look where you went, right to the prior day V-WAP. There's one of those moments where I explain how the market's rigged. There it is. It's rigged. Gets to the blue, gets to the orange, the sellers are at the orange, back to the blue. Then you get to do it again. And this is what I love. Again, this is what I love most about trading. You can trade one stock 3 times a day in a beautiful sideways market. And then when someone says, hey, the market did blah, blah, blah today, man, you must have had a blah, blah, blah kind of day. None of it means anything to you. All you know is what you did in you. What you did in you. And you traded it long once, long twice, maybe 3 times. You had a nice day. And you don't even know there's an IPO out today. You don't even know what the market did. That's just staying focused. And if you're not watching, again, if you haven't been on YouTube, there's 100,000 people doing what I do now. It used to be me and 6 other people doing videos about trading and talking about trading and all this stuff. There's 100,000 people now doing it, right? But there is a common theme that I see a lot of people do talk about staying focused on 1 or 2 names. There's a reason. There's reasons that cliches are cliches because they tend to speak the truth. That's a trading cliche, but it's a real viable notion. You could sit here just like yesterday. Oracle twice. That's it. That was the whole day. Oracle twice. We had some fun with You guys make money on that trade. Pulled back 6 or 7 times. You could have traded it each time. And holy shnikes, people. You understand the second move up lately has been better than the first move? How you doing? Now, I know you might not be paying attention, but now you got to say, oh shit. Where did I say the Qs were going to go 6 minutes ago? I said if we break through this consolidation, we're going to get to 376.04 right there. Bang. And if you break there, you're going to retest the 930 high, which is 376.44. Thank you. My name is Kenny Glick. I don't need to know where the market's going to be tomorrow. I know where it's going today, which is pretty freaking important. Right? Pretty important knowing where the market's going to go in the next 30 minutes. Because in those 30 minutes, you can make as much money as someone who's going to be sitting around, right? The guy that bought RIG 3 months ago, still waiting to get paid. You bought the Qs 3 months ago, you're still waiting to break even. But there's monster trades every day, especially using these daily option expiration trades. phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Learn what the Qs just did. Learn about the 1 minute. Learn about the multi-day. Learn about ass cracks and faux show bros. Spend a Saturday with me. I'm going to do a Saturday session probably sometime in October. Get to know what I'm doing. Get to know what I'm doing, and you'll never unknow. Because I haven't tweaked this in over 11 years. It works. I don't need a scanner. I don't need to update things. This works. It works. Just trade. Just trade. And once you know how to trade, you'll understand why I poke fun. And I'm not the best trader. I do 2 trades a day. I'm a fart in the wind. I'm an insignificant peon in the industry. But learn this trade. Learn this trade, and you will then see the folly and the noise. And you'll understand why I don't care what people have to say anymore. It just goes in one ear and out the other. It doesn't matter. No matter what people think, doesn't matter. What people predict, it doesn't matter. I know this trade works. You just wait for it to show up and do it when it does. Make money. And then if you just traded the Qs again, you just made another day's pay. And now you got some money to throw on the ARM IPO if that's what you're feeling like to do today. Just trade. Just learn how to trade. And like I said, over the last, by the way, Rivian, back to 24 already. Palantir, you see how much love there is for the stock at 15. By the way, say it loud, say it proud. Q's new highs. That's amazing. As we're just sitting here, right? Sucker the longs, sucker the shorts. You better get on the right side of this market, right? And look where Carvana is now, $53. Listen, everybody who's been saying the market's going to get hammered or crash or there's a recession still coming, they're just trying to hold the market back. Anybody who's hating on this market is either short or ignorant. Anyone who's calling for a crash is absolutely clueless. The people that call for crashes, they just keep saying it because inevitably the market does crash. It's part of the cycle. But you can't say imminent crash, imminent crash, imminent crash for 8 years. And then when it happens, say, you see, I was right. Imminent is the key word there. They're all screaming imminent, right? The recession was going to kill us all. And by the way, we made it. If you guys get enough spam email, I got about 40 of them last night, that September 12th was going to be a day where we all die. Because the man who, that's my favorite email. The man who, it's always the man who. Meanwhile, I'm the man who. It's never me. I'm the man who did a lot of things. It's never me sending that email about something that bad's going to happen. But the man who predicted blah, blah, blah is now saying September 12th, all hell's going to break loose. Click this video to learn how to prepare so we could charge you $3,000 for some bullshit. And that's why I hate this industry. 90% of what's going on is a bunch of bullshit. Maybe 95% of what's going on. And I know I'm part of it. I'm part of the hypocrisy, but get to know me and you'll be within 2 days, you'll realize I ain't no joke. And I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm angry at the idea that people still get taken. I'm angry at the idea that people still get robbed. That's what I'm angry about. And I'm angry about the fact that, you should be taking these trades. I mean, yesterday I was, it's one of those moments where I'm just like, what are we doing here, right? Just take these trades, make money. Stop overanalyzing everything. And by the way, if you don't know, today is officially the midpoint to one of my greatest absolute phenomenal calls in the history of my life. I bet 5 people that gold would not be $5,000. We are now only 59 more days away from the date that's supposed to hit 5,000. I'm going to double my bet. I'll buy you 2 cars. 2 cars, and I'll fly you to Nashville to party with us in April if gold's at $5,000 59 days from now. All right? So you guys know who I'm talking to. We already had the paperwork drawn up. I promise I'll buy you a car, and now you get a free trip to Nashville if gold's at 5,000. More importantly, if silver's at 50, I'll buy myself a car too. So again, predictions, right? What's the point? What's the point of a prediction, right? Are you going to stay with that prediction if the market's telling you that you're wrong? Let's say you make a prediction that you think something's going to happen 4 years from now, like Rambus. I think Rambus is going to 127 minimum. 250 would be the miracle price. Do I really think it's going to get to 250? I really do think it can get to 250, yes. But I think 127 is a more reasonable price to see on Rambus within the next 3 to 4 years, right? Standard analyst call right there. So if Rambus says their chip doesn't work anymore and they're hemorrhaging cash, the CEO is a criminal, and the stock's sitting there at $46, down 10 points, and the next day it breaks 44, I'm going to dump Rambus and I'm going to short it. But you said it was going to 250. I know what I said, but now the situation has changed. But you said it was going to go to 250. I know what I said. You see, that's what I said back then. But now the situation's changed. But you said, I know what I said. I know what I said. I'm the one who said it. You see, now the guy who said that is saying this. All right? All right. Don't say it. I know. I know what I said. I know what I said. Okay, now wait, watch this. The guy that said it might go to 250 is now saying it's going to 0. What are you going to do now? Because the guy that loved it 6 months ago is telling you now that he doesn't love it anymore, Jimmy. And I had this moment with the guy named Jimmy. You guys know the Jimmy story as we're waiting for this IPO that never comes out? I mean, I thought we were talking about 1010. So Jimmy, if you guys don't know the whole story of Jimmy, I'll talk about it until this IPO comes out, right? Jimmy, right? Jimmy was a member of our chat room. And Jimmy was loving Kenny Glick. Couldn't do wrong. Jimmy was giving me accolades on the YouTube videos. Man, I thought you were full of shit. Thank God I came to the chat room. You are the man. And me and Jimmy were kicking ass together. He was loving the V-WAP trades. He was loving everything. Naming his firstborn after me. And then this IPO came out. Yext. Jimmy, you remember Yext, Jimmy? So me and Jimmy, I'm like, Jimmy, $15 IPO, stock's breaking 15. I'm getting in, Jimmy. He said, Kenny, is this one of those 5-star plays, as we used to call them? I was like, Jimmy, this is a 9-star play. Oh, shit, Jimmy said. So Jimmy goes nuts, starts buying thousands and thousands of shares at 15. I'm buying $15 calls, $17.50 calls. Next thing you know, the stock's at $17.50. I said, Jimmy, if this stock breaks $17.50, it's going to 20. And he said, really? I said, hell yeah, Jimmy. Next thing you know, here comes the 1750s. We're cashing out of the 15s. Next thing you know, the stock's at 17. Now it's at $18, $19. Me and Jimmy are high-fiving. There goes Carvana at $54, by the way. Me and Jimmy are yucking it up. Me and Jimmy are having a time with the YEX trade. And I get Jimmy asking me in the chat room, so what do we do here at 20? I said, Jimmy, I'm lightening up. We got the $15 calls, the 1750s. I'm going to cash out of those. I'm going to buy the 20s. But Jimmy, if this stock breaks 22.50, it's going to 50, Jimmy. Woo! Jimmy said, what? 50? I said, yeah. If it breaks 25 and we get into the 30s, it's going to 50. Next thing you know, 22.50, me and Jimmy, woo! I'm cashing out. I'm buying $30 calls. I'm buying $330 calls for $2 each. Loading the boat on Yext. The next day, Yext opens up high, and me and Jimmy are going, holy shit, this is it. And then Yext does the worst thing ever. It has what we call an engulfing blow-off top candle. Oh, shit. Not the engulfing blow-off top candle. Jimmy! Jimmy, holy shit, Jimmy. I think we might have to cut and run on this YEX trade. And then you know what Jimmy says to me? You just said it was going to 50. I know, Jimmy. I know. But it just did something very, very awful in the world of trading. And that could signify a significant turn in the trend of this stock, Jimmy. And Jimmy says, but you just said it's going to 50. I said, I know, Jimmy. I know I said it was going to 50. I'm the one who said it. And it did go from 15 to 1750, and 1750 did get us 20, and 20 got us 2250, and here it is at 2375, ready to blast off, and it's going negative, Jimmy, and now the stock's down $1.80, and we're going to get our ass kicked, Jimmy. I'm going to have to bail soon on these $30 calls before I lose my home. And then Jimmy says, but you said it was going to 50. Oh, shit, Jimmy. Who the hell are you talking to? I know I said that. But now I'm saying this. I'm the guy that got you into this name. I'm the guy that's got you at a 20 grand profit on this name right now. Now the guy that got you in this position in the first place is telling you the jig is up, Jimmy. Run! Run, Jimmy, before you give that 20 grand back. I'm getting killed on these $30 calls, Jimmy. I'm bailing. I'm going to take the hit, Jimmy. Run for the hills, Jimmy. Run for the hills. And then Jimmy says, you're a pussy. You said the stock's going to 50. I'm not selling. Okay, Jimmy. Good luck. Remember this conversation, because I'm just telling you one more time. Sell it. The man who told you to buy it is also telling you now to sell it, and you're saying no. Take care, Jimmy. And the stock tanked all the way to $3, and Jimmy is still pissed. There's no winning in this industry. There's no winning. I gave the money to Jimmy, and Jimmy decided to let it burn up in his hands, and then he turns around and blames me. Right there, I knew there's no winning. And speaking of not winning, let me just read you an email from some really, really pleased one of our members from back in the day. Let me see if I have that up here still. He wrote, you intellectually devoid Neanderthal. You are an immoderately dejune and inordinately puerile imbecile. Nothing more than a pathetic charlatan and profligate villain, purporting to be a clairvoyant and to possessing peerless business acumen. Why charge money, you parsimonious dolt? Can't you comprehend you're not funny and your supposed meteor, which I had to look up most of these words, as a trader is incredulously apocryphal and dubious. This is my favorite closing statement of all time. Vapid fool, be gone. Oh, they love me out there on the internet. That was one of the most well-written, thesaurus-induced hate mails I've ever got. And then he divulged into a lot of curses words and awful pictures and something about the Jews. But I keep these emails because, again, I'm never going to please everybody. But it's not me. It's the freaking trade. This ain't about me as much as I like to make it about me. It's about the trade. Learn the freaking trade. Vapid fool, be gone. By the way, I should have taken this damn U trade. See that? You son of a bitch. Ass cracking, V-WAP breaking, and I'm sitting here talking about Jimmy. It's all right. It's all right. So guys, I got my day's pay. Carvana's over 60. What? Where is it? Oh. Carvana's up 4 points. Huh? When the stock's at 98 bucks, you'll be having this conversation with yourself. I can't believe that fucker was right again. Man, how come the one idea I took from him didn't work? Seems like every other idea works. You see, that happens too. I hate that also. Right? I give a lot of good ideas. Come on. You know I do. I give a lot of good ideas. But if you happen to be Jimmy, or you happen to be the one guy that bought NNOX, right? Oh, you fucking suck, man. I bought NNOX at fucking 15. I got blasted out at 10 bucks. I lost 50%. Yeah, we did. What are you going to do about it? You think every trade's going to work? It's okay to be wrong. You just don't stay wrong. That's why the commentary, when somebody says, oh, but you said, I know what I said. And I was in it. And then it didn't work. And then I exited it. And by the way, this freaking you, look at that. Faux show freaking bro. You understand the third move of the day is the best move lately? Because it's trapping people short. It's getting the longs out. So now the longs want back in because they got the fear of missing out. And the shorts are getting their ass kicked. Because you can't stay short this market. America! When the hell's this IPO coming out? Sitting here for an hour, flapping my lips. Could have been buying the Qs or the U. Sitting here, Ion Q, reverse to the highs of the day. The hell am I doing here? Flapping my lips. 11:10, they're saying now. I got to wait 10 more minutes. Well, we ain't going anywhere, folks, till this damn IPO comes out. So let's talk about IPOs. Did we talk about IPOs yet? They all suck. All right? If you dislike this industry as much as I do, right? You understand IPOs. The company's not doing you a favor. Ooh, let's bring our undervalued company out so everybody could profit in the stock. That's basically the opposite of what they're saying at the meeting. They're doing this. They're twisting their mustaches and rubbing their hands together. How high can we pump this stock to dump it on the public? That's what they're thinking. How high, how hyped, how pump and dumpy can we make this thing so we could cash out? The idea of you getting Google at $85 a share and it turning out to be one of the greatest stocks of all time is just a dream. Ask the people in Rivian at 180 or Coinbase at 400. It was all a dream. By the way, look at my list of stocks right now. Affirm, Rig, Beyond Meat, IEP, Penn, Hood, Para, GDRX hanging in there today. Schrodinger hanging in there. Even NNOX got a bid. CDLX above 19. ENVX I still like. Carvana pushing 54. 54 on its way to 120. Ion Q, Rivian. By the way, Rivian to 36, takeover by Amazon next year. What did I say? Where's Jimmy? Jimmy, I think Rivian's getting taken over at $36, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're out there? Load up on Rivian. It's going to get taken over 18 months from now by Amazon at $37.18 a share. Yeah. Now, if that happens, then we're definitely in the matrix. But I actually do believe they're going to get taken over. I don't believe Rivian will be a publicly traded company within the next 2 years. I think Amazon takes them, somebody's taking them over. And there's going to be a worldwide consolidation of all these little bullshit wannabe car companies. And there'll be 3 left after all is said and done. And it ain't going to be NIO. Or maybe it will be. I think it's going to be Rivian. You know, a friend of mine loves the Fisker car. Fister. Fister nearly killed her. What? Where is FSR? Oh, there. Oh, it's over $6 now. So how about them Qs, man? You guys get out? Yeah, NNOX. Yeah. I still got NNOX. Well, I have the April 15 calls, so I still have a dream. I have a chip in a dream. Oh, those emails that I get. By the way, if you send me a very strongly worded email, I will read it aloud. I love people that insult me. That's fun. Blow off top, yeah. There it is, right here. You see this morning at 9:38, the blow off top. You break a new high, and then in the same candle, you break the prior low. That's usually a top. So there it is. Even though they tried to sneak it past you right there on the U trade, coincidentally, there's one staring at us right there in the face. Oh, so let me show you. Raw E. You see how you broke a new high slightly, and then it starts to come back, and the pullback becomes a prior candle breakdown. That's usually the sign that you're about to trend the other direction. And, they tried to fake you out by 2 candles up, but then the real trend commenced. And in this case, you had multi-day V-WAP up there also. But the next time I see one here, but that's it. Yeah, VFS, that'll be at 0 also. By the way, look at Beyond Meat. Coincidentally, see, these are decent trades. As a day trader, you're just looking to make money with low risk, medium reward, low risk, low, medium, and high reward. As long as you're disciplined, the first part of the equation has to be. God damn it, you is really going now. Screwed up that. Should have got back in. This whole game is all about risk reward. And what's the other phrase I like to use? Risk reward and defining your trades, right? So if you're buying Carvana or you're buying anything, you're buying Beyond Meat because it broke over the VWAP, broke the half number, your risk is 7 cents, and your reward in theory is unlimited because you're buying a stock. It can go up forever. But as long as you're limiting your risk on every trade, like the Qs, right? I mean, this is turning into be some fucking awesome trade here. I mean, it all starts by hooking the people on the wrong side of the trade. That's why you're starting to see trading out of the open has been fine. It's been a really good trade. But a lot of times that opening candle, you'll get a spike up and then a spike right down in the first candle. right? It's a difficult trade. I'd rather wait 45 minutes, wait for all this chop to line up. Here, let me just clear out everything. And throughout all this chop, you got the trade. So there's the high watermark on the Qs, right? Where it tried to rally, the first attempt. Then it tries really hard, shaking people out and convincing you it's going to go down. Then it turns. You don't know that's going to turn. But once it breaks the VWAP, and I was saying the shorts don't even want to be short anymore because of this pivot right here. And that's why you never, ever stay short when your stock is breaking back above the VWAP and back above an ass crack range. Don't be on the other side of this trade. So this is where I'm saying you didn't have to react. You had 45 minutes to react. And this is why VWAP is so special. One of the million reasons that it's so special. It's a validation of what you're going to do. All right, I'm sitting it out. I'm waiting. All right, market's trying to go down. All right, looks like they just trapped the shorts. All right, cool. Oh, no, we're not going. Oh, okay. And throughout this whole move, you could just be chilling, waiting. All right, that's a lot of chop up, little downtrend there. Made a little turn there. Oh, shit, it's breaking VWAP. Start buying right here. Start buying right there. And then your confirmation is when it breaks back over that little spot and you never look back. And you never look back. Now, for my option friends, right, what are you doing? You're buying a 375 daily option. That's why these are the greatest invention in the history of trading. Weekly options were phenomenal. Now you're trading daily options. So you're trading a $375 stock for pennies on the dollar. So you go right to the source, 375s, 376s. Anything above that is sort of a lotto play. You want to trade them in the money. So look at the 375s for today. So you go, if you don't know how to do this, drop down menu in the Thinkorswim, 375s. Now watch. It's the same chart because they trade as if it's the stock. So instead of laying out $375,000 to make 2 points, here you just had to lay out $1,600 to make 2 points. Much better. Daily expiration options, the greatest thing ever because they're on the stock that I trade the most. Qs, gold mine, gold mine. And now, hopefully, while we're sitting here, remember, normally I'm not begging you, please, for the love of God, do this trade. I'm setting them up for you. By the way, fucking Carvana! You see the second move? The third move? Third move's the best move because that's the move where they trapped the shorts. The longs got out. Now they're chasing back in. The shorts are on the wrong side, and they'll continue to be on the wrong side in this name all the way to 120 bucks. I'll see you there. Tomorrow, Jimmy. Tomorrow. Is it really going to go to 120 tomorrow? No. I mean, it could be. I doubt it. But take the money. You got 55 today. Don't sleep on the Carvana trade. If you break 58.75 tomorrow, you got 62 and then 1,000. And when this stock's at 127 and you're sitting there with Rambus at 250 and Carvana at 127, I don't want to hear about, but you said the market wasn't even going to go up in 2023. You said the market was going to have a hard time going up if interest rates were over 5%. That's what you said. That's what you said. I know. And I still do believe that, but I was proven wrong. I thought the market would have a hard time going up when you could finally get 5% on your money. I did. And I said that out loud 100 times. Guess what? I was wrong. I was wrong. So what? But on May 5th, well, then again, on March 20th, I was like, listen, this market's never going down again. It took me 6 months to realize that, you know what? We just had a major pivot. And then in May, I was like, shit, we might just go up every day for the rest of our lives. And May to June and July were freaking awesome. So you're going to be wrong. Of course, you're going to be wrong. And by the way, they're not going to cut interest rates anytime soon. Hopefully, never. If they're cutting interest rates, that means the government is panicking again because the stock market's not going up every day. And by the way, that's not how it's supposed to work. Real capitalism is dead. You know that, right? If we were truly a capitalistic nation, AIG wouldn't be around. Merrill Lynch would have been disbanded. And there would be people in prison breaking rocks from 2009. Not a bailout and everybody saves their job, but Martha Stewart goes to jail. Get the fuck out of here. This is the worst industry ever. They can't even get the criminals right. Martha Stewart's the scapegoat for stock market manipulation. Why don't you round up some politicians? But as much as I despise the world, the industry that we're in, I love the people that we know. I love the people that I frolic with. I know who the good people are. And we just do our thing. Let's do our thing and let all the suit wearing, blue blood, manipulation, back office bastards, they're going to keep doing their thing also. I'm very jaded and cynical because I got a right to be. I've been watching this stuff for 30 years. Plus, I was the worst stockbroker ever. Listen to some of those conversations. Whew. Yeah. By the way, Martha Stewart that's a good looking woman. I love me some Martha Stewart. Still pissed for her. She actually had to go to prison. Bullshit. But she come out smelling like roses. By the way, damn this Carvana. Damn it. These are some interesting lotto plays. I still think we're going to be good for tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm actually kind of rooting for it to stop going up right now. Leave something on the table for tomorrow. You like this Carvana now, huh? Which part? Which part of the explanation? I can't believe this. I've been waiting here for an hour and 5 minutes now for this. Which part would you like me to go over? The who, the what, the where, the when? So I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get a couple. By the way, this U trade, please tell me somebody took this trade while I'm sitting here like a jerk. What am I doing? This is why I'm hiring, people. This is why I'm hiring. While I'm sitting here goofing around telling stories about Jimmy for the 300th time, my employee, the machine, would be loaded up on the Carvana and the U and the Qs. And I'd look over and I'd see you'd be up $8,000. I'm like, all right, cool. Good day. I'm sitting there goofing around. But that's what I do best. I give good ideas, I goof around, and I mock people. Because they're mockable. I'm mockable. But I could take it. Want to make fun of me? Go ahead. But don't do any misinformed criticism. That I don't like. And anybody who wants to talk about what I said, I'll never, ever, ever not admit what I've said. Part of the business. That's my favorite part of the business. Being wrong and doing something about it. That's my favorite part. Here's the list right here. Basically everything up to path. Plus, I trade SOXL a lot. That's my NVIDIA. SOXL is the liquid SOX index. Awesome to trade. Liquid half point options also. So the QQQ trade, okay, yeah. So my original Q trade today was short. Because I like, after the consolidation, here's the V-WAP for today. The consolidation, it starts to roll over. And then see that little candle right there where it held and bounced? Once it broke the V-WAP and then broke below that candle, I shorted the Qs. And my target was the prior day V-WAP. So I was short first and I got paid. And it was a great trade because look where it bounced. It bounced right back to where I was short. So it wasn't a great trade, but I made, I did my 400 shares, covered into the move. You make yourself $198.22 or whatever it was. You get stopped out on the rest. But now I'm in the groove. All right, I shorted the Qs. And then I saw the move up. Oh. And then you say to yourself, oh, this is going to be one of those days where we chop, go sideways, and then probably break out or break down. So I'm waiting for the chop. So all this chop led to this fake out. It's called the fake out, shake out, breakout. The trade's been around forever. First trade I learned from my mentor. We had Isaac and my boy Barry next to me. Me and Barry would make up phrases for everything so we could remember. And then we put Post-it notes all over our computers. And I don't remember who the first person said the faux show, bro. Either it was Isaac or Barry. But the idea is that the market or the stock or whatever, they're working the orders in this chop, right? And now that the computers have taken over more so, it's even more apparent. But the market makers are working their orders. And they're accumulating the stock, right? This is all accumulation. Well, now you know it's accumulation because you wound up rallying to the upside. But you see where it broke the low of the day? You're not thinking the market's about to explode to the upside right there. You're thinking we're going to roll over. That's why we call it the fake out, shake out. The market seems to, and again, this is for me speaking for 30 years of experience. Everybody knows this moment. The market seems to want to get you out at the worst possible price. Then it makes the counter move. That's the game. Even before the computers, they would have low volume sell-offs and they would they'd have the order ready to go with the buy. The specialists are there, just bleeding the stock to death. Sold, little volume. They know they got the order. The guy sitting there in the corner going, remember Wall Street? When it hits 19, buy its hold. That's the game. They're bleeding the stock. They're bleeding it. They're bleeding it to acquire their block at a better price. So you don't know when that's going to happen, but you can react to what you do know. So when you see a stock, again, it broke the low and then starts to come back and then starts to break back above levels where it came from, you got to start thinking, oh, these people might have just got suckered. Now comes the V-WAP part. Did they get suckered? V-WAP break, high of the range break. Oh, yeah, they've been suckered. Join in right here using the levels where these people got suckered as your new out. So you're identifying the trade right here, and you're a buyer here, using the pivots as your stops on the long trade. And then obviously, when I was saying where the targets to the upside, your targets to the upside are prior peaks. And if you break those prior peaks, then you start going back to where the market's been for a couple of days. I like losing a 5-day, 5-minute chart. You get a nice overview. There was the peak from a couple of days ago. And look where we are. We're right there right now. Right there, right now, right there. And that's where we're at. So you just got to know where the market's been, where it is, where you think it's going. If you're wrong, what are you going to do about it? That's called disciplined trading. Thoughts on we if it broke V-WAP? You should be a buyer. Ooh. More importantly, all right, cool. So let's say you did buy the V-WAP at 510. You already got paid. 30 cents on a $5 stock, that's a payday. Beautiful. But now now yous can't leave, right? Now you got the shorts on the wrong side. The longs are getting excited again. You break the high of the day, which is also the half number. Ooh la la. You're looking for more to the upside. Right now, it's kind of in limbo. You're inside the prior candle. You don't know what's going to happen next. You break prior candle low. Chances are you're going to retest those lows. I mean, you're going to roll. Can't prior candle high break leads to the 550 break. Now you put this on the main watch. Now you watch this for the rest of the day, because if it does break 550, chances are it's going to go more. But if you're long, you sold some into the move. Your stops are 521 and 514 now. I mean, is this IPO ever coming out? What are we doing? And nobody answered my question. Is CART coming out today also? CART? Because if you did them due diligence, ARM is on the other side. Usually when people bring IPOs out, they've already had peak growth, right? CART, as I read a couple of different articles, and again, I'm just reading. I don't usually read too much, but they're saying that this one is still increasing their revenues. It's still on the upswing as they're bringing the stock public. So that one could be a lot better. They're saying ARM is fairly priced at these levels already. But more importantly, hey, the second candle. Well, actually, let me go on a 1 minute for you here. So now you're still inside this big candle. These are all inside candles. So when you come out of a big candle, usually the stock's going to go in that direction. So you got double bottom right there. So you're still inside this big one. You break that double bottom, the stock's definitely going lower. Not definitely, nothing's 100%. But if you consolidate in this area and you break the double top and you're breaking the 549 and you're breaking a half number, chances are this thing could be off for another little squeezerooski. And that's it. You know, I can analyze any chart in, 10 or 15 seconds. And then just about putting calculating your risk reward and whether or not you want to do the trade. And right now, it seems like the market's on pause because everyone's doing what I'm doing. Waiting for this IPO to come out. I'm dying to see I'm dying to see the price. Oh, Instacart's the 19th. All right, cool. Thank you. Somebody asked me about the schmooze. My daughter's back in the gymnastics circuit again, so I gotta meet at 4, usually over by 6, dinner 6:37. I'll be back by 8, probably 8:30. Yeah, we'll hang out tonight. It's important. It's an important night. Market's kind of on the precipice of doing something. We'll talk about this IPO. By the way, she's a 9. She was stuck on 8 for quite some time. She made it to the 9. We had high hopes at one point. If you know about my daughter, she was in that Olympic hopeful moment when she was really young. When she was gotta be maybe 10 or 11 or 11 or 12. She was doing things that most 12-year-olds couldn't do. But then once we started going up against the homeschool girls, we realized our daughter wasn't going to be in the Olympics. And then it just we went from the Olympics to maybe we get a college scholarship. And then as time went on, we started to see and go to more competitions around the country. She's good. She's not great. You got to be great to get some free money for a college. But and then I just didn't even want her doing the bars anymore. So I was like, don't. I was like, you're great on the floor and the vault and the beam. Get really great at those three, and who cares about the bars? You'll be a specialist, and that's kind of what we're doing now. She doesn't even do bars. I was trying to get her out of gymnastics, but once we realized she wasn't going to get paid by a college to go there, I read that the field hockey is where you get the field hockey, and women's lacrosse is where you get the scholarships. My girl would be great at lacrosse. She's fast, she's strong, she's got a great eye, she can throw. She wants to win. She's very aggressive when it comes to. Well, she's pretty aggressive with her schoolwork too, which is I don't know where she gets that from. But yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to pay for school. Hopefully, she gets a couple of merit scholarships for something. Anybody got any connections at Florida Gators? She wants to be a Gator, or she wants to be a Georgia Bulldog. We've crossed Purdue off the list. She doesn't want to go there no more. We crossed Indiana off the list. We've given up on Notre Dame. Not that I really wanted to go to Notre Dame. But I want to go to Notre Dame. Oh no, it was like the only college I heard of back when I was a kid. And freaking Rudy, man. Freaking love that movie. Rudy. But if I had my choice, she'd be going to a local community college and go get a job. Get a job. Because my kid is already my email is Kenny Glick at AOL. Laugh all you want. It's a think piece. Oh, Tom, she doesn't want to go there. I tried. I looked. Do you get like commission if I send my daughter there? You've asked me like 40 times. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if colleges do pay off people. I mean, what a racket colleges. What a racket. Maybe they should stop building new buildings and hiring new people when they don't have to, and they keep the tuitions down. All right, this IPO is never coming out, huh? We're just going to hang out here and just stare into space. I'm going to get a cup of coffee, see what's going on. What are you guys doing? Anybody got a new time? We're 20 minutes past due now. Or Mountaineers? Is that West Virginia? My nephew actually made it into UVA. Pretty hard school to get into. Okay. You guys make some money on Carvana? It's only up 7 points now. Carvana. You know what? I never even check these because they're in my kids' accounts. How much did the $85 calls move enough today? Hey, I'm up money again. Hey, if you bought the 85s for $4, you're up $1.50 now. Come on. I mean, but your best bet is to play the near-term options. I mean, shit. You bought a 52.50 when we just started talking. You're up a couple of 100% already. When this stock's 120, hopefully we're all still in some. Speaking of 120, oh, that's what I was thinking. Rambus hit 60. This is a nice race. Who's going to get to $100 sooner, Rambus or Carvana? The easy answer is Carvana. I think they're both going into the hundreds. Nice. I'm thinking about buying my Challenger now. I'm about to give back my favorite car that I've ever owned in my entire life. I've had Challengers since they came out, and I went and got the Hemi one with the 600 horsepower, and I babied it for 3 years. I only got 23,000 miles on it. So I just started looking on the internet if I wanted to buy this car. People are charging $38.40 for the 2019. You can't even find my car. It's like a collector's item. I'm thinking I got to buy this thing, but it's like, I don't know, how many cars do I need? Anybody in the market for a 2020 SRT Scat Pack with the shaker Challenger? Only got 23,000 miles on it. I'll give it to you for 40 grand. I mean, they're selling them for 40, 43. The whole car, brand new, was only 52. It's amazing that it's held such the value, but it's like a collector's item. Speaking of cars, Carvana, $56. Look out. All right, let me get up and come back before this thing. It's probably going to open up. Not that I'm buying the open on it. I'd like to see how this thing starts to trade. Uh-oh, the master. Are you in? You playing the fade on the cues? Uh-oh. The master has shorted the cues. Did you short the? Ooh, look at you. Playing a little pullback. Hey, by the way, you were looking for a blow-off top moment, right? New high, breaks prior candle, and then it breaks the range from where it came from. And that's why my man's already short, because he knows what he's doing. There's a little blow-off top, hits a new high, candle comes back below the prior candle, and then also back below 3 prior candles, and then you get a little downtrend follow through. Not a lot, but when you see that blow-off top moment, and a lot of times that now turns into the downtrend. And if if he's short the cues, now he'll use the tops of these ranges as his out. And by the way, Carvana new highs. This is 3-month highs now, kids. Haven't seen it up in the 56 range since July 20th. Oh, they love me some Carvana. The funny thing is we're only 7 points away from the 15-point day that I was saying was coming soon. I mean, today might be the day. I mean, you're 2 points away from the breakout, 4 points away from 52-week highs. Wouldn't it be ironic as we're sitting here waiting for this stupid IPO, my number one stock does go up 17, 18 points today? Isn't it ironic? Wasn't I trying to get up for the last half an hour? Oh, speaking of sick calls, right? Mr. Skeptic, you out there? How come you don't give me credit for the Carvana? You've been watching my videos for the last 5 or 6 years. Sure. 18 months ago, I said the market would have a hard time going up to all-time highs in 2023 if interest rates were 5%. By the way, we're still not at all-time highs. But at the same time, I also said that Carvana is going to go to $58 and you should be buying it at $7. And CDL and the whole, nothing. Can I get one attaboy from you? Can I get one moment of sanity? You can hate me all you want, but you got to give me credit for a couple of these. You can't just say I make bad calls because one call that we didn't even actually get hurt by, that was a macro event call. Meant nothing really because we only trade what we see. I thought you said the market was going to go up. Not going to go up. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and watch it go up without me every day. Because I said it wasn't going to go up. I'm just going to sit here living in denial. Because that's what you do. How about CDLX at 1950, fella? No? Nothing? No? CDLX doesn't do it for you? Remember I brought you that one at 250? Go read my Twitter feed. Remember I was fighting with the guy on the internet? He told me this company's it's going to go bankrupt any day now. And I said to him, what do you know? And then he cursed at me and made fun of my mom. And I said, cool. When the stock's at 850, I know who I'm taking my money from. You. When the stock's back to 20 and they don't go out of business, will you apologize about what you said to my mom? You always bring my mother into it. I don't know why. Something her doing some sort of sexual act in the back of a cab somewhere. I mean, what did my mom do? My mom's a good trader too. She's owned one stock for 30 years. And if you can name that stock, you're well on your way to a prize this holiday season when we play Kenny Glick Trivia. What's the one stock that my mom owns? Come on. You should know it by now. Come on, people. Somebody got it. Kimberly Clark, goddammit. Kimberly Clark. Oh, my mom's in a downtrend. Uh-oh, Babs. Babs has been collecting dividends for 30 years. I think the cost average is -5. My dad just found 300 shares of Oracle that he has since the IPO. He had no idea. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. See, if I woke up with a stock that I just found in my account, I'd be down 88%. No, my dad wakes up with 300 shares of Oracle that he doesn't even remember buying. My dad held Cisco for 22 and a half years. He just finally got out of the queues from 03. 20 years in the queues, just got out in the last couple of months. It's pushing 80. And you're getting 5% on a T-bill. It's about time my dad cashes out. Yeah, he's down to the Gabelli Fund, which is GAB. Pays a decent dividend, doesn't do anything. I think last I checked, Gabelli Fund was paying 9.5%, which used to be insane when we were at 0%. VGR, Vice stock. He bought some dip on this one. I don't know I think they cut their dividend. This is a cigarette and alcohol company, I think. I forgot what it does. But my dad has been a long fan of the Qs since 03. Finally out. But speaking of the Qs, look at you with that short. I didn't mention going short. The only reason I'm mentioning it now is because I saw he was short. Because he saw the blow off top. And again, this is all about disciplined trading. You see the blow off top, you short at 377.50. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but in that situation right there, if you're short in 77.50 up there, and obviously I'm saying 377.50, he's using the top of that candle as his out, which is normally going to be a hard stop. What's the difference between a hard stop and a regular stop? Hard stop, you're all out. Because if you're trying to pick a top and you're wrong, get out of the whole position. It's the only time. If you're trying to pick a bottom and you're wrong, get out of the whole thing. But normally we're using stops, and he's covering right now. So freaking awesome. And if you see what he's doing right now, blow off top, retraced back to the level from where it broke out from. And now it's retraced to the candle from the prior area of concern. Now he's taking his profits. And I would guarantee you, I know what he's going to do next. You see where we broke down from? That's his new stop. And now his target is the V-WAP, because generally when we start to trend, we pull back, called the V-WAP retracement trade. And the better you get at trading, you'll isolate the blow off top. You'll isolate the risk reward. You'll know where your targets are because you did the work on the way up. And now he's doing the work on the way down. He's looking for that price down here. But if he has to get stopped out of the rest, he will, because he just took some profit here and here. Well done. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Tidian. Now, his name, if you know that reference, you're a nerd. His name was Tidian. It's an old SNL bit. Anyway, but his name was, there was a man who built a way station for the GIs in the desert. He was a great man. I didn't ask who gave the order. Someone put a bullet in his eye. And his name was Mo Green. We're bigger than U.S. Steel, Michael. What? Where'd I just go? What happened just now? Sorry, I have movie Tourette's. Something reminds me of a movie, and I just fade out into... Is this IPO ever coming out? Just hanging out here for 2 hours, doing squadouche. Luckily, it made us some money already. Any day now, right? Any day now. Right? We'll just stay here. Do I use the 1 minute chart for my option entries? Generally, they coincide with the stock. So there are times where you could just trade the stock and the option on the same chart. That's what I love about in the money QQQ. Let me show that bad boy to you one more time. You see, here's the QQQ chart, right? I'm buying stock here. So right there, I usually look at the chart of the stock. Options are on this platform right here. I'll be looking at that. Ooh, we're breaking 375. Let me buy 10 375 calls over here. But you can chart the option itself. That's why I love in the money options. Take a look. So if you have Thinkorswim, the drop down menu is right next to the chart. So if you're on the chart, drop down menus here. And then you put the 375s on the chart. And look at that. Same exact setup. 1 minute multi-day V-WAP reversal. You buy the option at 169, they went to 350. Obviously, you wouldn't have held the whole time. You would have been selling here and here and here, and then you would have got stopped out right there on that rollover of whatever you had left. And now you'd be done with the trade. But yeah, I love being able to chart the options themselves, and it works a lot better when you're trading in the money with the more reminiscent, I'm using big words today, fancy, the more reminiscent your option is to the stock itself, it's going to look exactly the same. So 375 call, daily option is going to look very much like the stock because it's moving lockstep. If you start looking at a 380, not that you wouldn't have made money. Let's say if you would have bought a 378 earlier. That was actually a pretty good trade. 378s, you would have been buying them at 62 cents and you made 100% on your money. I mean, yeah, they all work because it was a pretty good move. Even the 379s, yeah, the 380s actually did play. And that's the lotto play. Normally, I don't go 380s, but there they are. 23 cents got you 63 cents. Not bad. Thing about these now is that if you go too far out and you don't get the big move, they won't move. So you could have a 2-point move on the Qs. You'll make money on the in the money option. But if you went out too far, you're just left wanting. And this Rocket Pharmaceuticals has shook off RCKT has shook off. Oh, baby. All right, before I even describe what you're seeing there, what are you seeing there? Yeah, give me all the things you see on this chart on Rocket Pharmaceuticals. RCKT. Why am I looking at it? News yesterday. News was good and bad at the same time. Their drug was being used for something. I think they got approval, but at the same time, they said they're going to offer more stock out. But it fought through it. Right here, I'll show you a couple things, right? So first of all, you got the inverse ass crack V-WAP break right there. You see where it tried to go down and then it broke V-WAP and it did break that spot. You got a little short. And each time it got to the V-WAP, you confirmed its weakness. And then you went down. And just like in typical fashion of the market environment we're in, dips are being bought, rips are being sold. There's your low, starts to rally, breaks it, then comes right back. Fake out, shake out, right? Faux show. There's the fake out, shake out. Then it starts to bro, the faux show bro. But the bro part decided it wants to consolidate. And look at this massive consolidation at the V-WAP. And this is what makes good traders great traders. It's because if you bought it here and it went up 25 cents and it went back down 25, up 25, down 25, up 25, down 25. You know what the rookie trader says? Oh man, this stock's fucking going nowhere. I'm out of it. And they get bored of the chop. There was no reason to get out of the stock. The reason to get out would have been down here. Here it's just shuffling along. It's shuffling and shuffling, consolidating and jiggling, shuffling, consolidating. The shuffling, the jiggling, and all the consolidation led to the break. Buy it right there. And then when you see all that and you're thinking, oh man, I missed a perfect entry, then it breaks the new high. Shorts don't want to see this thing break a new high, another new entry, and then you just redefine your risk. So you're buying here, and then your stops would be here and here. So again, to my wife's point, when I'm always moaning about missed opportunities, she says, well, why don't you buy it now if you still think it's going to go up? And it's really that simple, right? Because most of the time we don't want to buy something because, oh man, I should have bought it there. I should have bought it here. Should have bought it there. Yeah, all right. Doesn't mean it's not about to go to $50 a share. Just re-identify the risk. Anybody buying it up here, right? Not a great buy because it's already made a 3-point move. So you re-identify the risk by going to see where, significant area right there. Hits a double bottom right there. That's significant. That's definitely one of your outs. Boom, boom. Right? Right here where it pivoted off that candle. And now you can tighten up your stops, even if you're buying. And again, I'm not suggesting you buy it right here. I'm just throwing it out there. But if it consolidates in an upper range, you're buying it in the upper range and you're just using the prior areas. You're not going to let it go all the way back to the V-WAP. So any trade, anything that goes ripping by, you quickly just identify the risk and whether or not you want to take it. By the way, keep an eye on this stock. It's now 2 days into the move. Usually you get 3 days. So you got the gap. Now you got the consolidation breakout. And the easy answer, and I want you to write this one down. And this is how trading works. If then. If and then. So RCKT, right? If 2269 remains the high for today and it never gets above it, that's the if part. If 2269 remains the high of today and it never gets above it, which it could get above it right now, let's assume it doesn't. So if RCKT doesn't break 2269 today, and we understand stocks that gap tend to have a gap and go. Here it goes. Oh, didn't break it. Anyway, it might go right now, but tomorrow, considering you're still in the gap consolidation phase, if it then breaks 2269 tomorrow, buy it. Because that is momentum. That's just a classic momentum follow-through trade. So prior high breaks. And again, Let's root for that to exactly happen. You just double topped at 2269, right? So let's assume that's the double top for today. And let's say the consolidation, let's say it chops around all day now between 2209 and 2269. Opens up tomorrow, you see this thing breaking V-WAP, and you might have missed it or whatever. Don't be afraid to buy it if it breaks to 2269 from today's double top tomorrow. That's how you create a watch list. So now RCKT is on our watch list for a buy above 2269. And that's how you create ideas. You don't need no freaking scanners. I got all scanners you ever gonna need. Scanners are overkill. How many ideas can you possibly take in one day, in one lifetime? I used to have scanners running from, it wasn't trade ideas, it was prior to trade ideas. I was getting 60, 70 ideas a minute. What am I going to do with that? And I tried to tweak the criteria. I was getting so much information, so much data that it was a waste. It's overkill. Because once you know how to trade, you can trade one stock like the U or IonQ today, right? IonQ, right? My only other trade. Caught the long. Sorry, I didn't catch the long on this one. You could have caught the long. I got the short off. Could have went long here on the ass crack break. The V-WAP break got paid. And then, look, it got rejected up there at the prior day V-WAP. Consolidation led to a V-WAP breakdown. Shorted again. And that's an $18.70 stock going down 50 cents. This is why I love this stock. One name, two sides, almost 4 trades. And these are 30, 40 cent moves on an $18 stock. And as a day trader, it's what you want. It's all you need. Scanners. Frickin' scanners. Have a sonic getting. Oh, pelican fly. What? If you don't know these movie references, I don't know if we could be friends. Pelican. Ooh, fly, pelican. All right, so the IPO is just never coming out, right? I am in a college dorm. That's what I'm going for, yeah. I never went away to college. I was trapped in my mom's basement, literally. But I loved it down there because I had my own apartment with my own entrance and my own bar. So now I built my own frat room. Well, I'm just a nerd, really. I just like collectibles. You like silver? I got all kinds of silver stuff. I've been collecting silver for about a decade. These are something I just bought. Look at these bad boys. Woo! They're the replica quarter ones where they made the, if you guys are into Yellowstone, boom. Yellowstone quarter. Want to see something cool? I got a silver coin to match my tattoo, which is awesome. It's a kilo of silver. I got a bull and a bear on my leg with a demon warrior and an eyeball popping out of my knees, the warlock. By the way, RCKT, you bastard, broke out just now. That's the eyeball controlling the warrior, killing the bull and the bear. Look at that. A kilo version of this coin. I got 1 ounce versions of them. That's what I'm going to be giving out as presents. And I got this. Whoa! I got this really, really cool one. It actually has the word pump and dump on it. It's called Welcome to Wall Street. It's a clown juggling grenades with a bull and a bear. And once I saw the word pump and dump on it, I'm like, oh, I'm in. Welcome to Wall Street. It's a clown juggling grenades, bull and a bear playing with some toys. I can't see it too clearly anymore, but I think AMC's on here. What else do they have on there? It's a pretty neat coin once you look at it. And you got the the Illuminati eye back there. 2 ounces also. These are nice. Actually, you know what my favorite was? I just bought 100 of these replica peace dollars. Gorgeous. Imagine you had a peace dollar in this condition. They'd be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Bought a bunch. Got my Greek coin. Got my Athens stuff. All right, what the hell are we doing here? I need to eat. Thought we'd be in and out of this thing at least once by now. Did anybody update us on a time that this thing's coming out? Oh, there you go. If you like silver stuff. Oh, Jesus. This thing is so heavy. It catches me off guard every time, even though I'm ready. It's a kilo coin. Look how nice. Now I just need silver to go to 50 bucks like I was promised. I was promised 50 on silver by November, 5,000 gold, $50 on silver. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not going to happen. But you know what is going to happen? Q's new highs. Q's new highs. Just when you thought you could short the market. Nope. And you see why my boy was covering down there, right? Every trade, you hope for more, but you take your profits, especially in a choppy market. You see why he was covering here and here now? You pulled back to prior bullback. You got your little faux show, and you trap the shorts thinking we're going to go down. Next thing you know, us as disciplined traders, we get stopped out of the short right here, if not the rest here. And now you're enjoying a rally maybe. But more importantly, I've got a cryptocurrency coin. They loved it at 3. They begged you to get it at 250. They implored you that you could make hundreds and thousands of percent at $2. At $1.85, I laughed at it. At $1.50, I joked that it could go to $1. And then at $1, they told you this has to be the bottom. Buy more at $1. And then it broke $1. And I said, if it's going to go to 80 cents, it might be going to 50 cents. And then it went to 50 cents. And they said they were buying more. So they got you in at 3, 250, 2, 150, 1, 75 cents. And I'm going to bring it to you right now at 9 cents. So if you liked it at $3, Scaramucci, what? If you liked it at $3, Scaramucci, how about 8 cents? You guys like cryptocurrency? I bought this one a couple of days ago just so I can make fun of myself now, because they loved it at 3 and now it's at 9 cents and still going down. And its name is Algo X. I'm in. And so far it's been a month and I'm down 6%, even at 9 cents. I'm not joking. I did buy it. I don't know why. Somebody said something about Coinbase. I thought, I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bitcoin going to 100,000. Maybe if Bitcoin does go to 100,000, Algo can go back to 20 cents. But I was told it was good for at least a 250,000% return at $3. So what's that mean? 250,000% return. That's what the internet said. 250,000% return at $3 would be what? So that's 250 times your money, right? Oh, by the way, Tim, can you hear me, Tim? Did it work? Tim, if you're out there, go to the Learning Hospital and let me know if it worked. Are you my private? Are you my escort for the day? Yeah, you see how this whole, I knew this IPO was going to get in the way. Mr. B, is that you? Well, test the link and the password. Yeah. Test the link and the password. See if you can log in. You could just sit in there. Maybe I'll hit you up later or something. I got to tell you, I thought the IPO was coming out 10. We were going to be all right. Now we're sitting here for the last 2 hours. I'm your private dancer for money. Seriously, we just sat here for 2 hours, and time standing still, right? What do they say about having a job you love? You never work a day in your life. Man, if it wasn't for some of these beatdowns I've taken in my career, it'd have been all right. But you know what? At least I get to hang out with you kind folk. Said by Leonardo DiCaprio in Get to hang out with you fine folk. Algo X. Yeah, I bought it the other day. Yeah, put a couple of grand in it. 9 cents. ALGX, yeah. You know what it was? I saw it going by. Somebody was talking about it. And I was like, oh, yeah. That was the one that was supposed to go up 250,000%. Hey, they were saying that at $3. So at 9 cents, we got a better shot. So what's 250,000% was what we were promised. 250,000. That's 250 times your money, or 2,500 times your money. So 1,000% on your money is 10 times your money, right? 1,000% is 10 times. Help me do the math in my head. I'm very slow nowadays. So 1,000% is 10 times. 10,000% would be 100 times your money. So 100,000% would be 1,000 times your money. So 2,500 times my money. Is that what they were expecting? Wow. I still think I have the ad for that one too. They actually put a number on that one too. That was pretty funny. Oh no, I have no idea. I just happened to see it. I just happened to catch the end of I don't know what I was reading about it somewhere, and I was like, oh wait, that's the one that everybody was loving at $3. I give it a shot at 9 cents. Basically, I bought it just as a goof, I was talking to my crypto guy who he's come to the conclusion that any other coin other than Bitcoin is worthless. And I do also feel the same way. Because if this ever is going to amount to something where it's real currency, Bitcoin has to do what it's doing now. This makes sense to me. Let's say Bitcoin is 25,000 for a decade. Now it has real value. Bitcoin's worth about 25 grand. You could start using it as currency. If it's fluctuating in 50% increments, who's going to want to use it as currency? You get paid for something, and then the next day, what you got paid for is 50% less, or maybe 50% more. That's not currency. And then people try to explain to me about the tech behind the coin. Great. It's a wonderful conversation to have with the cryptocurrency geeks, right? Oh, you don't understand the tech. See, the blockchain behind this is what makes the coin valuable. Explain how. That's because the technology. Right. But what does the coin do? that gives it value. What can I use that for? Oh, there's no use for it. It's the tech behind the coin. All right, you said that already, but explain that. Oh, it's because of the blockchain. Okay, you said that part already, but why would it have intrinsic value? Can you explain that to me? Nobody can explain it to me. So I'm never going to put real money into worthless pieces of shit, which is the entire industry, in my opinion. I don't care that it's been legitimized because there are people with real money in it. Good. I hope they all lose their money. No offense. I hope it turns out to be the biggest epic failure in the history of mankind. Because right now, if you don't know, it's been the #1 wealth creator in the history of mankind. Nothing's ever done what it's done. I mean, it was pennies and it went to 60,000. No one's ever seen anything like that before, which leads me to my friend who still thinks it's going to go to 1 million because there's going to be a finite amount of it. And if everybody starts to want it again, he says he's a believer. He thinks it's going to the Cathie Wood million. I get it with the Bitcoin. I don't get it with anything else. Like Ripple. I bought Ripple because I'm a deadhead. And there was that. Oh, we're out. And we're out. It is $56. All right. Let's teach you how to trade an IPO. ARM. You ready? Now, again, you see the high print at 58? Very important. Draw the line. 58. The only thing that means anything to anybody right now. So let's say this candle, this is now your first inside candle. Whatever this candle does is generally where the stock's going to go. Breaks the 56, it's going to go lower. Breaks the 58, it's going to go higher. $56 breaks, went a little bit lower. Really not that much follow through, but follow through a little bit. All right, you're still, let's call it bearish, right? You broke the first low candle. Now you got something to look at, right? Now you got your second candle high, right? So right now, downtrend. If you're going to call it a trend, it's a downtrend. You broke the IPO first candle low. Trend is down. Now we're in the third candle. Trend is still down. When will that trend be challenged? When it breaks the second candle high. So the second candle high is easy to remember, 57. So the idea now is if it breaks 57, you could go right to 58. And if it breaks to 58, it's on its way to 60. And now you wait. 3 candles in, downtrend still intact. So now the only place I would buy this stock, I'd rather not try to pick a bottom. If I'm going to trade this, I'm going to trade momentum. So it's got to break prior candles. So if I'm buying right now, 57 is the only spot I'm going to buy it until this next candle closes and creates some new information. All we got right now is the information that's being displayed. So 57 is the only reason I'm going to do anything on this name. I'm not buying a dip. I'd rather buy it on the way up than try to guess where the bottom is, right? So right now, 55.50, 56, first turn, right? So again, with every market, with every moment of any stock's life, you could take a trade wherever you want. So right now, let's say you buy it. I ain't waiting until 57. I'm going to buy it right now. So what are you going to do? You're going to use 55, 54, hard stop. Because if you're trying to pick a bottom and you're wrong, you better get out. So anybody that's buying it now is saying, all right, if it breaks the 54, I'm out. And you might be getting out in 2 seconds. No, it held. Let's see. I don't think it's going to hold. But that's how ranges are formed. It holds it, holds it. Next thing you know, you got a double bottom. Then you start to rally. You start to form a range. You come out of the range. You go that way. And look, there you go. First attempt of a rally. It held the bottom. So now you got yourselves almost a triple bottom right there. So the longs are saying, hey, Now I feel a little bit more comfortable. I can give it a shot right here, 56 with a half-point risk. 30, 20, 21 million through on this name already. Exciting. I'm going to wait it out, right? I don't, again, if this consolidates, I'll buy, I'll buy 300 shares at 57. Probably should have bought it just now. See where it kind of broke that half? But now think about it. If you bought it here and you were willing to risk the 50 cents, now you got yourself the dollar. They'll probably want to sell some here. Now they're all going to say, hey, breaks 57, this thing's going to go. So if you're selling, you sell some, don't sell it all because it's about to break 57. Big size on the offer. Got to get into battle mode now. See how it hit 57? Perfect. Now you got a double top breaks. This thing's going to break the 57 and go to 58. Let's trade the ranges. Here you go, 57s, 57s, 57s. 3 times it tried. I'm in. I'm buying a little bit right here. I'm in. Big size getting gobbled up. I'm going to risk 50 cents because I'm buying it at 57. I'm going to have to use the half on my way out. I'm not going to get crushed. But I dipped my toe. It hasn't gone 57 bid there. There you go, 57. Put an offer out at 57.42. You know what? I'll sell some at 31. Sold to that guy, 57.31. Right? Now we need 57.50 bid, and we'll be rocking. Or if you have no risk tolerance, just use your entry as your exit. So if you want to just use 57 as your out, be my guest. Sell some here. 43 sold, 50 sold. There you go. Right? Now you got 30 shares left, or 3,000, or 1 million. Now 56.99 is my out. Now I'm in. Now I'm just hoping it goes to 100. I sold enough. I got 20% left. I'll hang on. Right? Did the trade. Right? I should have nibbled before the 57. Yes. As soon as I saw the turn, I should have nibbled right there. Risk defined. I just wanted to see the 57 break. But now we're doing fine. 57 is going to get us 58. You break 58, the stock's going to go to 60, hopefully. But raise your stop. Keep it at break even. Or raise your stop now. Now, if it breaks 58, you're thinking 60 bucks. Market's liking it. Market's rallying. Everyone's excited, right? Right? You don't buy the open. If this thing would have ripped right out of the gate, great. It would have done it without us. Play it smart. Wait for some selling. Get a range to form and then buy. Big size on the offer. We're good. We're good. Big size on the offer being bought. Big size on the offer being bought. We're good. Need 10 cents. Put 58 on the bid. We're gone. 58's a trading. 58's a trading. What are you doing here? If you bought it at 57, you're selling some at 58. 58's a trading. We go 58 bid. Next thing you know, we'll be off to 60. 58 resistance so far, but that's good. Triple top. If the pullback is not a disaster and we break 58, triple top, stock has no choice to go up but to go up. Come on, 58. Now, if I had some reasonable size, I'd sell some at 58 and a quarter, but now I'm holding on. Now I got now I'm in the I don't care lot. Now I'm thinking 60 or I'm getting out at 57. That's it. I ain't doing shit right here. 60 bucks. Let's go. Now, again, if I had more, no doubt would I have just sold some at a quarter. I would sell some at the half, and then I would sell some at 59 on the way to 60. But I don't got enough, so I'm just going for broke. So it's 57 or 60 on the rest for me. You know what? 57.50. Might as well lock into some gain. By the way, Q's new highs. 58.50. Van Halen, right? What was that 58.50? You know why it's going to 60? Does anybody know why it's going to go to 60? Anybody know why the stock's going to go to 60? Anyone? Anyone know why it's going to go to 60? I'll explain it to you. Because stocks that break 57.50 go to 60. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's 51.50 was the, yeah. But you see, you don't got to be a nudnik and start buying the open. What was the opening print? 50. Oh, the opening print was 56? No. Was it? I thought the opening print was 58 or 57. Yeah, whatever the case. Played the dip. We got the check mark, dip and rip, and hopefully we get 60 bucks out of it. Now, if you're in from 56 and change or 57 with me, and you want to take your profit, just so you could say you finally made money with the bald idiot on YouTube, do it. Do it. But when the stock's at 173 tomorrow on some epic monstrous move that you never expected, remember, I told you not to sell at all. And I'm telling you this right now, and I'm not joking. If it doesn't break back under 57 today, I'm staying with it forever until it breaks 57. And there goes my rocket. Rocket, yeah. Satellite of love. Oh, 59, Kenny. You're so good at this. I know. 59.30, 59.40. Actually, you got to sell 59.43. Sell 59.43. Don't ask me why. Just sell some at 59.43. Do it. Do it. Sold. 59.43. We're at 60. 59.60. We're 40 cents away. Now you could raise your stop to 58. Don't let it go all the way to 57 now. Don't be silly. Getting paid, getting laid. Oh, first part. And by the way, you see where Oracle is, right? You know it's going to make back all 17 points within 2 days because good stocks that get hammered on earnings come back. Plus, we're in a bull market if you haven't heard the memo. If you haven't got the memo, we're still in a bull market, even though it's been a kind of a lazy bull market lately. By the way, I got 13,000 shares of the ARM. I'm only kidding. I'm up like 70 grand right now in this trade. Just kidding. I should be. But it's not about me, friends. It's about everybody buying it with me under 57 and getting paid here to $60. And by the way, if 59.88 happens to be the high from today and you say, oh, it didn't go to 60, I will bite your face. I will Cape Fear your face. Well, you said it was going to go to 60. Shut up, Jimmy. Hey, wait, hang on, Jimmy. Here it is. Here you go. Here you go, Jimmy. All right now? 96, 97. Wait for it. 97. Wait for it, Jimmy. Wait for it. I know you want 60. Jimmy, get ready, Jimmy. Jimmy, get ready. Jimmy! Jimmy, look what it hit, Jimmy. 60 bucks, Jimmy, you fucking hump. Who's the best? I'm out. Have a nice day. It's worth the wait. You guys buy 1,000 shares, you're up 3 grand. Kenny, it's at 61 now. What are you going to do? I'm not selling it. Stock's going to 190. I got 6 shares left. Let's go. He's the best around. He's the best. See, this is what I do live. You understand? So if the stock didn't do what I told you it was going to do, you would have experienced it and said, oh, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But I just told you what the stock was going to do, and then it did it. So now kneel before my feet, kiss my ring, and keep mentioning, but you said the market wasn't going to go up in 2023. I know I said that. And I also said this stock was going to be at least $60 in the next 10 minutes. and you want to sit there and harp about one idea that may or may not have worked, who cares? Have a great night, everybody. And I'm not happy about this. I'm happy if everybody made money on it. I should have been buying 2,000 shares of this thing. I'm goofing around with 200, 300 share lots. Bullshit. It's not about me. Do you care that I made nothing on this trade? You shouldn't. What you care about is what you pay for. And what do you pay for? Expert guidance in the world of the stock market. And that's what I do for a living. So next time you want to judge or condemn or mock or scold or whatever the hell you call your criticism, at least be informed with your criticism, because I'm the best that's ever been. You. I'm talking to you. Have a nice day, everybody. All right. We got what we came for. At least we got what we were waiting for. We got the 3 points. We got the 250 out of it, right? Come on. And it could be going to 75 bucks now. Just don't sell the rest. Now you're sitting with FU money. Who cares? $75. Let's go. 100. So now I'm going to call my wife. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe I only bought 250 shares. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life. I suck. Oh, I'm going to be wallowing in misery later when the stock's at $75. But I do it for you people. I suffer for you. That's the true essence of the guru. I am the guru. I sacrifice my health and my wealth for the common good, and I do it live. Thank you. My name is Kenny Glick. I'll be here all week. You have a great night, everybody. See ya. But Kenny, you said it was only going to go to 60.